In this tip, I'm talking about a new swing craze called recentering. It was coined by the guys over at Athletic Motion Golf. I watched some of their tips, and you know, they present a lot of great things. They base it on the movements of tour pros, which is great, you know, because it's kind of cool to see what pros are actually doing. So one of their moves is this recentering move. All right, and you know, pros actually do this. The problem is when you try to get an amateur player to do it. I'm talking, you know, maybe a higher handicap, not a better player. Better players are usually capable of doing stuff that pros are doing because they're better players. They're kind of close anyway. It's trying to take a 15 or an 18 handicap and do some of these pro moves. Yeah, it's probably not going to happen. The recentering is especially tricky. So some of my students have been trying this unsuccessfully. So here is the problem. The problem is time. So let me just explain the recentering first. We're going into our backswing. By the time we get to the top, we've shifted the weight, and now the weight starts to recenter by the time we hit the top. So from right here, I'm 50-50. I go 80-20 in this area here. As I'm continuing back, I actually get back to 50-50 or even into the forward leg by the time I hit the top. So I go from a loaded position to a recentered position. Like I said, pros do this, okay? If you look in a video of pros. The problem is, for the average person, it's time. Okay, so you go like this and you make the move this way, you don't have time. This is like a millisecond in time to go from here over to here. So as soon as you get to the top and you feel like you've recentered, maybe you've got a little weight here, maybe you're leaning forward because you see your head go a little forward, you will send the club over the top every single time. Ideally, as a better player, we already kind of fire our lower body. So what happens is we go like this, we make the move from 50-50, let's say, we're loading immediately, we get up to the top, and then we kind of recenter here. When we come down, we know how to fire our lower. And that's the difference. We're going from a recentered position to a tilted backwards position with our spine by the time we hit that golf ball. And with driver, it's a lot of backwards tilt. Your average person can't do that. So they're trying to do the recentering move, but they have problems because there's not enough time to do it. You know, we're talking milliseconds, because if that is a quarter second from there to the ball, you hit the top right here and you're on your forward leg and feeling like your weight's recentered or even 50-50, you got to get back here by the time you hit that golf ball. And your average person doesn't even know how to use their body or uses minimal body. So for them to do it, it's very difficult. So I got a better way to recenter. All right. This is what I've done for over 30 years now. And it just seems like a easier thought. Okay. So it's not that we don't want to recenter. Okay. It's what is the great majority of the golfing public capable of even doing? All right. So that's what I do. I try to give people ideas and thoughts that they can actually do. Okay, so think of it like this. We're going like this. We're 50-50. We're going to coil up. We're going to load over here. Okay, so we're not going to think about getting over here like this and leaning forward, even though that may happen if you do what I'm going to tell you. So we're going to go like this, 50-50. We're going to go up to basically 80-20. That's what it's going to feel like. Your recentering move now is going to be to take your belt buckle right here, and you're going to face the ball, okay? That is the move I have taught. I call it the first 45 degrees in your swing. So we're up here. Well, we start facing the ball. We coil up, our hips move 45. The first move I want you to do is take your hips and face them back to the ball. In that process, I'm now back to 50-50. I'm not thinking about leaning. I'm not thinking about getting the weight into my forward foot. If I face the ball, my weight will recenter. From there, now we're going to continue the rotation. All right? It's a little different thought, a little different way to do it, and I find that is easier to do. because it's an easier thought. And I'm not doing multiple moves in literally a millisecond. So it is possible to achieve this. And you can tell if you're doing it because all you have to do is video your swing from down the line. So right here, if I go like this, take it to the top, see how my hips have turned 45. I'm at the top. My first move, I want to turn my hips back to the ball as soon as I can. Okay, ideally that would be when the lead arm is parallel to the ground. So right here, I'm already facing the ball. Okay, I started facing the ball. I went up to the top, they turned. Now I need them to face the ball as soon as possible. Then I can get the second 45 degrees by turning my hips so they're open by the time I hit impact. All right, so it's just a little different way to do it. This is more of what I've had success with, you know, and in talking to my students that have tried the recentering move and they're having trouble with it. You know, I'm gonna have them do it my way because I just know the results I get because I've done it for over 30 years that way. All right, so if you don't know about recentering, this tip might not be for you, but you can, if you keep watching it a few times, you'll kind of understand it. So again, here I am, facing the ball. Okay, here's my hips. I'm facing the ball. I'm gonna go to the top. Let's see if I can do this. So I'm gonna go to the top, my hips turn 45. Okay, now instead of trying to get to my forward foot, pushing down on my foot, which could cause me to lean forward, now I'm gonna have a hard time because I gotta learn how to fire to get back behind the ball, because if I keep going, I'm gonna send it over the top, hit top shots, thin shots, and that sort of thing. We're not gonna do it that way. We're gonna go like this. We're gonna coil. There's the first 45 degrees, right here. All I need you to do is take your hips and turn it back to the ball, okay? Right there. As soon as you do that, now you're back to 50-50. Now you keep it turning. Ideally, we're trying to get upwards of 45 degrees open at impact. Probably not gonna happen, probably be, you know, 20, 30, 35 degrees. Anything open at impact is gonna be great because all pros are open with their hips when they hit the ball. So if we can get the first 45 degrees, you're in a position to get the second. All right, so if you're someone that's recentering, just try it my way. Maybe that'll give you a little bit more success because it is an important move that does happen in pretty much every pro's golf swing. So if that's a pro move I can get you to do a little bit easier, then give it a try that way. See if it works for you. I truly hope you've enjoyed this tip. Here's another tip that's going to help you improve your swing. Now, right below that, don't forget to click on that link because I'm going to send you some free samples of my body swing book and video series that'll take you step by step through how to build a powerful, effortless, pain-free golf swing.